Good morning. My name is Mark Netchma from Newsweed.com, and I'm going to give you a briefing on the news as I have read through it, and hopefully it'll give you a little bit of information uh, that helps. Today is June 19th, which is now going to be a federal holiday, which is about when the Confederate soldiers um, surrendered. It's a very controversial holiday because it brings up um, mistakes of people in the past and making the people of present feel guilty about it, which I think is wrong. But let's move on. In Iran, uh, conservative judge Raisi has been declared the victor of Iran's presidential election. As a clear forerunner, Raisi received congratulations from rival candidates. Next story. Illegal, 1,500 strong rave kicks off in France after a night of clashes that saw 5 police injured and reveler lose a hand. That's pretty wild. If you want to party, you don't want to lose your hand. There was 1 killed and 11 injured after a helicopter carrying ballot boxes crashed in Iran. Oof, that's kind of suspicious. I guess those ballots did not get to be counted. Pastafarians cry foul after Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster fails to win formal recognition in Australia. The Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster will have to remain an underground pasta-worshipping sect in Australia after a tribunal ruled this satirical religion was unworthy of formal recognition. Well, I'd have to say that I've given up pasta about a year ago. It's done great things to kind of tighten up my waistline, but holy spaghetti, it could be a church. Um, Elsewhere, they say it never happened. An Aussie SAS corporal denies claims that he blooded rookie soldier by ordering him to kill prisoners. Former SAS Corporal Ben Robert Smith has firmly rejected allegations he ever killed unarmed detainees in Afghanistan, as well as claims he ordered a rookie to kill unarmed Afghan men in blooding ritual. Well, interesting story, because I do know someone while he was in Iraq that basically did the same thing. I guess soldiers or killers, when they're in a war, might say, "The heck with it. I'm going to wipe you out." And the person I knew actually did it for fun. And in that case, it was 14 people. So do I think that this could not happen? I think it could actually happen when people are put into a situation and their true selves come out. It's true that some people do like to kill, and it's very sad and it's very scary. Um, anyway, the expiration date is way too close, Palestinian authorities scraps deal for Israel to swap 1 million COVID-19 vaccine doses. Doses of Pfizer's COVID vaccine pledged by Israel were already too close to their expiration date when delivery started on Friday to the Palestinian Authority. So they canceled the deal. Well, that's kind of a dicey story because, maybe the expiration date, if they hurried, they could have got all these vaccines out. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. It's sad that the Palestinians get sort of the scraps, uh, but at least they got something. And it's even more sad that some of the people that might have been helped by the vaccine, although I'm not a big fan of vaccines, uh, aren't going to get them at all. Over in Hong Kong, uh, police charged 2 people with collusion with a foreign country after arrests are made at an Apple daily newspaper. The police in Hong Kong have charged 2 senior bosses at the Apple daily newspaper with collusion with a foreign country after officers entered the publication. Well, we don't have tight security here at Newsweed, and I guess the same thing can happen. Actually, I bet you there's some people that really hate some of the things that we say after we find out what the news is. In this particular case, protecting journalism, protecting real journalism, is very important. And it's something that should be stood up for by all governments. Now, China obviously wants an influence in Hong Kong, so therefore, perhaps the Hong Kong police are working with China. It's a very scary world, especially when America has weak leadership. Uh, a military truck burnt and 2 people are reported dead. This is again in Myanmar. Lots of trouble there. 2 people have died after 2 explosions went off near the office of an army barrack uh, uh, housing a political party in Myanmar's largest city, Yangon, on Friday. It just never ends. Over in Liberia, a Liberian rebel leader sentenced to 20 years in prison for war crimes, including cannibalism, and first such trial by a Swiss court. Liberian rebel commander Alu Kasia has been handed a 20-year prison sentence over charges of rape, killings, and even cannibalism in the first war crimes trial in a civilian court in Switzerland. All right, back to vaccine information. Who wants a shot? Well, if you want to go to Lithuania, they're offering COVID jabs to tourists after entering the Baltic country. Lithuania is considering a scheme this week that would allow tourists staying in the country for over 7 days to receive a COVID vaccination, also extending the offer to its nationals living abroad. Fascinating. Whoop, here's some dirty cops. Couple of suspects were acquitted after the cops replaced cocaine with icing sugar to nail down would-be Australian trafficker. An attempted sting operation backfired for Australian police after they intercepted a shipment of cocaine, swapped it with icing sugar, then busted the recipient. Transporting icing sugar, it turns out, is not a crime. Anyway, I've never done cocaine, and anybody who does is kind of weird to me. Who was that president that did cocaine and admitted it and got elected in the U.S.? Crazy. AstraZeneca has to give 80 million COVID doses to the EU by September's end. Judge says as both parties claim victory in a shortfall dispute. A Belgian court has said AstraZeneca only needs to supply the EU with 80 million doses of its COVID-19 vaccine out of 120 million sought by the bloc, but it faces fines if it misses certain set delivery targets. AstraZeneca, not for nothing, but I've been hearing your name a lot, and it's not been in a good way. You're not jabbing me with your stuff. All right. A UN chief was reelected. I guess his name is António Guterres. 193 member of the United Nations General Assembly. Seems to me a bunch of people sitting around not doing much, not doing enough over at the UN, has voted in favor of reappointing Secretary General António Guterres for a second term. His new 5-year stint is due to begin at the start of 2022. Have you ever seen the people at the UN? I've seen them, I think, sitting in Central Park doing absolutely nothing. They look like the typical academic, non-empathetic New Yorker that kind of gets bothered if you walk by with your dog. Anyway, let's get on to some more news. Let's see. Oh, over in the EU, they don't want any more gas guzzlers. No. Let's see what they say when there's power outages because we don't have enough electricity to power up the cars. That's what I'm really looking for. Let's talk some sports. You know, the big game, they say, in Europe is football. We call it soccer here. Hungary star Fiola terrifies reporter by diving towards crowd after netting versus French. Hey, man, you shouldn't be scared if a big guy with very strong legs and tattoos is diving at you. I mean, it's a great photo op. Stop complaining. Messi celebrates Argentina Copa America win with sweary Instagram post and bath photo with teammates. Lionel Messi celebrated Argentina's first win in 2021 Copa America with a sweary post in which he was also captured taking an ice bath with teammates following a 1-0 victory over bitter rivalries Uruguay in Brasilia. Wow. Anyway, it's open season over in Russia. A Russian swim stunner, Subotina, soaks up sun and turns the Olympics crazy because she's so beautiful. Good job, Subotina. Baseball star Zombro can't wait to get back out there after he shows scars from brain surgery after being hit by a ball. That'll do it. Better helmets, maybe? Highly rated Tampa Bay Rays prospect Tyler Zombro says that he is eyeing a return to the mound as he recovers from emergency brain surgery after absorbing a life-threatening line drive to the head in a game earlier this month. Now that's scary. My brother was smacked in the head a few times. Once by a bat and a few times by a ball. He was just a little kid, but he's kind of wacky now. A Southgate masterclass fans suggest England's boss is tactical genius for plotting easier route in Euro 2020 knockout stages. If there was any silver lining for England fans to take from their team's damp Euro 2020 showing against Scotland at Wembley, wait a second, aren't they the same country? No. It could be that finishing second in Group D would actually make life easier for Gareth Southgate's men. Those Europeans, they do wild things. Drink, drugs, and disorder. Dozens arrested amid fiery clashes after England and Scotland play out Euro 2020 draw. London's Metro Police said that 30 football fans were arrested for an array of offences following England's Euro 2020 stalemate with Scotland at Wembley on Friday evening. Never piss off the Scots. They're tough. Very tough people. Well, that's a little bit different type of news today. And I just wanted to say have a wonderful weekend. My name is Mark. I'm from Newsweed.com. Remember, it's never as it seems. And I think if I ever do the news without a ding, I'll be surprised. Thank you very much.